we're recording here
Okay.
and we're talking all things Mandy. So maybe a good way to start us off would be tell us, how did you first meet Mandy?
Hmm. Okay. Well, I first met Mandy in 2000, and I went to a beach bonfire party down in Mission Beach. And I noticed about halfway into this party, I came with one of my friends. I noticed though there was this woman who was sort of wandering around with a bottle of ketchup and a bottle of mustard. And she was walking around to people with their hot dogs and hamburgers saying, "Would you like some ketchup? How about mustard?" And would walk around to the next person, ketchup or mustard. And I noticed people were looking at her kind of odd, and I thought that was kind of odd as well. But I thought she's having some fun, this woman. And so that was going on. And towards the end of the night, the person I came with, and then the person Mandy had come to the party with, we had noticed the two of them were sort of chatting in the corner. So we were waiting for them to sort of finish whatever was happening. I hadn't talked to her at this point, but we look at each other and she's like, "Is that your friend? Is that your friend?" And so she and I started talking while we were waiting for our friends to decide what they were going to do. And we both realized we're from Ohio. We
Hmm.
both had just moved to San Diego within the past few months. Neither one of us had really met any friends yet. And so we were like, we should get together. We should hang out. So she said, "Well, sure. Let me give you this number." And she handed me her pager number. And so the next day, I paged her, and the rest is history.
25 years later.
Yeah, yes,
So
it's been fun.
you've known Mandy for more than half of her life.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's right, because
So
her big 5-0 is coming up.
it's coming up. It's coming up. So she's excitedly planning.
Yep.
Um, if you were to think maybe on all these years, all 25 years, what are maybe the top three things you've learned from Mandy, either through experiences with her or by watching her from afar?
Ooh, that's a good question. Top three things. To be curious. I think that is one of the very first things. Never be shy to ask those questions. Just be curious about humans wherever you are. I think that's probably the top one that she has really taught me, because I'm more naturally introvert and more of a
Yeah,
shy person. So
yeah,
she's
yeah.
really taught me a lot about that. Um, Ask her what you want. If you don't ask, then you might never know. And to really be bold, like, be big, don't be small. Like, get out there and ask for what you want, because you're smart um, and deserve it. So ask.
Okay. All right. That's two. Number three.
And three. So one of the, I think, most recent valuable lessons Mandy has taught me, and it's a little bit with getting out there, is the value of LinkedIn, especially as I'm going through a huge career change. I just left a job of 22 years.
Okay.
And Mandy has been working with me on really freshening my LinkedIn and my resume, and really helping to teach me some of the exciting things that LinkedIn can provide, and to really let people know what I'm good at
Yeah.
and who I am. And again, to be bold and to put it out there. So she's
Yeah.
really been awesome
What
there.
what was your previous job, and if you could pick any job to do next, what would it be?
Oh my gosh.
And if you're when you're picking the job to do next, let's just forget about money or cachet.
Okay. So the job I recently left, I was the vice president of business development at Planned Parenthood of the Pacific Southwest. So I had been there for quite some time, loved it, but I was ready to move on. I'm ready for a new challenge. So if I could choose something, I think it would be and I would say maybe for the next 2 to 3 years, I would want to be one of those people who goes out and reviews restaurants all around the world,
Oh,
and
yes.
just try. I love travel, and so I think that would combine my love of travel and food, and just get paid or not get paid to be able to go try all kinds of new experiences and dining, meet new people, and get my travel bug out of the way.
I love it. Okay. So I'll ask you this question, two answers. Once I want your answer, and then for Mandy. If you could pick a city in the world that best matches your personality and who you are, what city would it be? And then if you could pick a city that best matches who Mandy is, what city would that be?
Oh my gosh.
I know this is on the cuff, but we'll give you time to think
Woo!
about it
Get
because
a
we're just gonna
little
chop
bit.
this up anyways.
Hmm. I think I actually just got back from this city. So I think the city that would best describe me right now and at this moment is Prague.
Ooh,
I think with some of the just a lot of the history, all the stories it has to tell, just the beauty, and all of those amazing streets and cobblestones. It's just it's fun, fun.
okay, okay.
Mandy, I would say I don't know if it's necessarily a city, but this just popped into my mind, and I will say it's country, Zimbabwe.
Oh,
And
okay.
I say that because Mandy is so full of adventure and fun and always wanting to try something different.
Mhm.
And I think that would be a huge fun adventure for her. And I think she would love it.
All right, great answer. Now, Mandy's had a lot of different notable accomplishments throughout her career.
Mm.
When you're looking at that from afar, what's the one that you're just like makes you the proudest of her? Out
Hmm.
of all her accomplishments, which one is like, ooh, I'm so proud that Mandy did this or accomplished this or achieved this?
Writing and publishing that damn
Oh,
book.
yes. Where's the book here? It's right back there. Sales Tales. Show it to the audience too. Hold on.
Sales tales.
Yeah. So yes, this one
Yes.
right here, Sales Tales.
Yes.
And tell us
Yes.
why.
And I will tell you why. Because from probably the second or third time Mandy and I went out, the one thing I always noticed about her, which I loved and was always a little bit embarrassed about, but at the end of the day loved it, was that Mandy carries a traveling journal. Wherever you go, whoever you're sitting next to, she has some questions for people. She will document them, or she'll just observe what's going on. Like I cannot believe this person just said this thing, or this person is wearing this thing, and jots those things down. She also happens to have a journal that exists all the time in her restroom at her house and encourages all guests who go into the restroom in her house to jot any thought they might have while they're in the restroom.
Okay.
So for years and years, I have always associated Mandy with like the love and the art of observation and reading and writing. And to see sort of this now it doesn't exactly culminate all of these tales into one, but it's very much I know she's always wanting to write a book, and so I was so incredibly proud of her that she accomplished it because I know
Yeah.
how much it means to her.
Yeah. Great answer. I agree. Lovely. Now, if we're looking ahead, Mandy's got her goals. I'm sure she shared with her goals for the future for herself in terms of her business, personally, professionally. Which one of those that you know about kind of are you really looking forward to seeing her accomplish?
Hmm. Well, I think there are two
Okay,
actually.
talk to us. Yes, talk to us. Yeah.
One, I would love I would love to see Mandy publish her second and maybe even third book.
Okay.
That's kind of on deck, and so I would love for her to be able to or ensure that she prioritizes making that happen because
Hmm.
life is busy, and I know that it's super important to her. So that would be one. She also recently shared with me, which I don't know how much she shared with outside kind of maybe a few other close people, is that Mandy loves writing retreats. And so,
Mm.
with that, she has also talked at times about potentially investing in getting a writing retreat that she can actually share with others, that other folks can come in and utilize that space for their love of writing and creation. And so, I would be so excited to see Mandy accomplish
Nice. Okay. You mentioned already that you're like a viewer and a listener of the podcast. When you think back to our podcast, what are some of your favorite moments that you've had the opportunity to witness or listen to?
that. Oh my. That is a good question. This one was quite a while ago, and it was a woman who I believe she had it was a downtown studio that Mandy had gone. It was a spin
Hmm.
studio.
Hmm.
Um, but I just loved her, kind of her energy, her story. And I think what was special about that one in particular, Mandi and I walk once a week every morning, 6 a.m., always getting
Whew.
together once a week. And
Okay,
so
early.
he and I, we share a lot each week with each other. And she had always talked about how, meaningful that relationship with that person was and with that particular studio. And so to be able to see kind of the connection and really giving her the opportunity to lift her story up, and what that meant. It was cool for me because it was sort of a full circle moment of being able to
All
hear
right.
and see that and
I
celebrate
like
with
it. I like it. So I think I have two more questions for you.
her. Okay.
Really, what would be in terms of like the podcast, 3 years, we're celebrating our 3-year anniversary. Any message that you want to share with Mandi and then our audience in general about just Mandi as a person and her role and what she does for our podcast, Adventures in Business Live?
Mm. Yeah, so I think what I'd want to share with the listeners of the podcast is that I think I would love to see Mandi continue. I think with her curiosity, I think her silly moments make this because I also know the two of you might be a little bit more serious. Mandy's a little bit more kind of silly, and so I love the combination and
Yes.
how the two of you really partner together
Mhm.
in making it really kind of a fun and unique experience for folks. But I also really want people just to know about Mandi. I think how much she cares
Mhm.
about so much about life, really about humans. And the one thing I will just say is that in March, when Mandi and I took a trip to Santa Fe, right after I left my job, it was a hard time, but she and I decided we were going to celebrate together. She previously had asked probably about 20 to 25 of my friends to write a special note or letter to me.
Mm.
And over the course of those 3 days we were together, before I went to bed one night, before we went to dinner another night, before breakfast, she handed me a series of these letters. And so, just for folks to know that Mandi's heart and soul is so much into, I think, really celebrating life, celebrating people, making sure people know how much they're appreciated. And so I think just even though there's so much silliness, I think with her and fun, that she really deeply cares about the human experience and about what people have to bring to the table.
Okay. Okay, one more, but before I ask you the final question, like if people are watching this and like, oh, I want you to come and, travel to Tuscany to review my restaurant, what's the best place for people to reach you?
So people can reach me at right now. LinkedIn is probably the best
Okay.
place. So
Yes.
Lori Keim, MPH at LinkedIn. You could reach me there or at Lori Keim, MPH at Gmail. And those are the
Okay.
best ways to get a hold of me.
Awesome. Now, is there anything else you wanted to share about Mandi and or the podcast that I did not ask you?
Oh, I just think the last thing I want to share about Mandi is just what a special person she's been in my life and the impact that her her kindness and her thoughtfulness has really been to, I think, my professional career, but to who I am as a human. So I really appreciate her for all of those things, and I just wish you all the best on your 3rd-year anniversary, and here's to at least 3 more.
Amen. All right.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Adventures in Business. Don't forget to rate and review our podcast on the platform that you're currently listening it on. And don't forget to share it with your friends and anybody that might be as much of the business nerds as Amani and I are. See you next time for another captivating interview.